Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Ruffle Rowlet. Welcome to a brand new video, ladies and gentlemen. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we got some stuff to talk about. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some nuts shit to go through. We've got some rumors. Okay, this has to be the funniest one I've ever seen, I've got to be honest. So, the text one, we've got two, right? We've got two rumors. You guys know how I do this. I go through two in a single video because it's way easier than having to go through them individually and all that. But, ladies and gentlemen, these two are weird. Just weird. Okay, the first one, let's just take a look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get right into it because, honestly, I don't know what to say. I mean, my dude, that, okay, so that showed up. And, you know, the person here is claiming that this is an unevolved Zeraora test print, okay? And his name is Sarizer, and it's inspired by Ratatoskr. Now, Ratatoskr, as you may know, for those who do not know, and this is coming from me, because I know something for once, Ratatoskr is actually a god from, like, Norse mythology, or, like, you know, old Viking mythology and whatnot. And he was basically like a little, you know, squirrel. He was a little squirrel, like, you know, that was up in the tree, messing around, doing his thing, you know, so to say. But I remember this from school. So Ratatoskr was a little, like, you know, a little squirrel. And this design, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I think this guy here under there that actually commented, the anonymous guy right there, I mean, I think that kind of gets across the point a little bit for some people. But here's what I'm going to say about this one. It's a cool design. But why? Why? Why would you give a pre-evolution to a mythical Pokemon that's already been out in Generation 7? I'm a bit confused. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to know in the comment section down below right now. Please let me know. There's any Pokemon we know that's a mythical or a legendary, because it's a mythical, I don't know if I call it a legendary by accident. It's a mythical Pokemon. Or at least Zeraora is. Have we ever had a mythical Pokemon, or even a legendary Pokemon, that has ever gotten, I mean, besides maybe Zygarde, which is a legendary, right? This is a mythical. But Zygarde is a legendary, and Zygarde got, like, new forms in future games, right? In its original game, it didn't have different forms, but then it eventually got different forms. But did we ever have a mythical Pokemon, I'm trying to remember, that actually got a second, or like a pre-evolution in a future generation? Because I don't know. I actually can't recall. I can't remember. So let me know in the comment section down below. Is there one? Because if there is one, then this puts more legitimacy on this rumor. This makes this rumor more likely, but at the end of the day, it's just like, I don't know, the design looks weird. Now, the design, it looks like it's a design document. If you look underneath there, it looks like a design document. But at the same time, the colors look like they're, like, if you look at the head right, if you look at the head, pay attention to the head, that looks like the mouth of that big, like, chunky Ultra Beast. And I can't remember what it's called again. The big chunky one. I'll actually find a specific one I'm talking about. Because it's a big chunky boy. Big Chunky Boy is what it reminds me of, which is Guzzlord. There we go, Guzzlord. It reminds me of Guzzlord's mouth, almost. That's what it looks like. No joke, that's the colors. The colors match. Actually, I can probably show you guys right here what I'm talking about, because the colors of the mouth actually match up really well. So, you know what I mean? Look at that, right? Doesn't the mouth there match up with the top of its head? I mean, look at the shape of his head. Look at this dude. Look at the shape of his head. I don't know. Also, for some reason, why is his nose so much bigger? I mean, okay, let's take a look at Zeraora, right? Zeraora, it looks like a cat. Zeraora's got a cat design. So why would its pre-evolution be based on a squirrel? Like, what's the reasoning for that? If it actually had a pre-evolution, if we were to consider this real, right? Why would you like do that? Why would you go backwards almost? Like, why? I'm so confused. I mean, compare the two, there's just it makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. I'm so confused right now. I don't know what to say. Well, it looks like the head is part of Guzzlord, and it looks like the other part here, or like the rest of the body, just doesn't reminisce too much with Zeraora. And Zeraora looks more like a cat rather than like a squirrel, so I'm not sure here. Also, the tail makes no sense, because like Zeraora's tail almost comes up from its back, rather than from its, you know, from its bottom, which is really weird. I don't know, man. I think this one's fake. There's no way this one can be real. As much as I think it looks interesting, I just don't think so, because it just doesn't make any sense, if I'm going to be honest. It just makes no sense why they would do that. But, I mean, hey, who am I to say? So, you know, if this ends up being real, if this ends up being the real one, you know, everything else we talked about has been fake, and this one's the real thing, I mean, honestly, color me dumb, because I don't know, man. Color me dumb. Either way. That was the first start, though. The next thing here is this right here. So you guys haven't seen this one, but this one popped up, and I haven't been able to cover it yet because it's one of those really chunky ones. It's pretty big, as you may notice. But let's just get into it, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? So we're going to start off with the top, which says that new game information, anonymous, and he says, let's start with the nose. Ooh, that's it. Ooh. See, this is the one. Was the one I think that was gonna. I think I was gonna cover this one because I thought it was kind of like interesting, but let's see what he has to say, though, because I think this one's definitely fake, because there's so much stuff that it denies here. So, first one, let's start with the nose. No new evolutions, which I still think is, I think that's BS. I think we're gonna get new evolutions. No new typing. Sure, that's new Pokemon typing. Wouldn't make any sense. There's no point to add any more typings. No Z moves, which... Thank the Lord if that doesn't happen, because I hate Z moves. No exploring of Kalos, not even as DLC. Would be disappointing, but I think that's very likely we're not going to go to. I don't think we're going to go to Kalos again, even though people really want that, and people keep saying we're going to, we're not. That's just, I don't know, it's a business decision. I've already talked about this before, but from a business standpoint, I don't think they're gonna. No armored evolutions, but there are more references to Kalos War. Meltan and Melmetal are referenced as well, alright? Not important to story, unobtainable through normal gameplay. So Meltan and Melmetal are referenced as well, not important to the story though, obtainable throughout normal gameplay. So nothing weird about them, like, you know, having to do this crazy thing to get them or anything like that, which would be nice, because I don't like having to go through them, you know, a million hoops to get a Pokemon that's supposed to be, like, you know, that really in other games we got them easily as well. But, like, you know, if it's a mythical that they make, like, you know, for example, Zeraora would be fun to, like, actually go through a quest to get. Meltan, not really, because you can get a million Meltans, and they're just not as interesting, and they really already have, like, a, you know, they don't really have anything interesting about them yet. If they had some interesting story behind them, then I'd love if they made Meltan really hard to get, but since they're meant to be, like, really many of them, then I don't see a point. But Zeraora, though, would be really cool if you kind of hid it behind, like, some sort of long quest to do, so to say. But, yeah. Next thing here, though. The news, or the new stuff. 85 new Pokemon, 80 available, 4 unavailable, 1 DLC. A DLC, I guess, what he means is mystery gift. Not a literal DLC, but like mystery gift Pokemon. Starters, they're all physical type Pokemon. So, Fire Ground, fastest ground type. Grass Rock, really strong grass attacker. Water Ice, very strong water defense, weaker than Cloyster in defense. His gimmick is debuffing. That's interesting. So, wait, this is actually really strange. So, Fire Ground. I think I've heard somebody say that before, but nobody really took it seriously. But Fire Ground actually wouldn't make too much, I mean, it wouldn't be too weird, it would make a lot of sense. Because one of the first things we see him do is, like, you know, burn shit and just, like, see the ground come up from underneath the grass in the trailer. And, of course, you had Grass Rock here, which, again, I don't see an issue with that. Would make sense with Grookey, because, you know, he'd be bashing, you know what I mean? And Water Ice, I don't see an issue with that either, though I don't think that's likely. Who am I to say, though? New Galar forms for Gen 1, 2, 3, and 6. Mostly 6 and 1, though. So, really, they're going to give more forms to, like, Gen 1 Pokemon for crying out loud. If they did that, I'll be so annoyed. New Megas, very few for every generation except 7. 1 to 3. Mewtwo gets a new form of Mega Evolution. It is man-created, based on Mewtwo Knight X and Y. Alright, so Mewtwo gets a new form of Mega Evolution, which would... It's man-created. So, it's like, I guess, like an Armored-esque one. Even though he said no armored evolutions, but there are more references to the Kalos one. I mean, even though, I don't know. There are 2 professors, which we've heard before as well. It's a, you know, rumored thing that we've heard before. Looker is finally revealed as being from Galar. Plays big role in the story. He isn't called Looker anymore, and he asks for the player for help to find out more about the International Police Department, IPD, which would be cool if that was like some sort of, you know, like the Interpol of, like, you know, of the Pokemon world, which we already know, like, you know, the International Police or whatever. Of the Pokemon world. Let's see. As he thinks bad people have infiltrated it, this has been a case for a few years now, and he thinks it's time to act before something big happens. Throughout the case for a few years now, throughout the story, it'll be revealed what he has done in other regions, especially in Kanto and Kalos. Okay, Cyrus is back for a bit. Ooh, that would be really cool if they brought Cyrus back. Has a new outlook on Pokemon and helps the main character find the evil team. There is no evil team for the most part of the game. They are hidden as another organization, later revealed as Team Royal. It is managed by only 5 people. They have no grunts. Thank you for reading. So, wow, that's actually ended up being slightly more interesting than I thought it would be, because I think I misunderstood this rumor when I first saw it. I think I thought, like, I misunderstood it as only 60 new Pokemon, but I think I must have confused it with a different rumor, because there's so many, you gotta understand, you know what I mean? You kind of get him a bit confused sometimes. But I've got to say, though, I like this Looker thing, dude. That would be actually a lot of fun. And Cyrus returning... Oh, that'd be so much fun, dude. I love that, man. And since we know we're gonna be getting Diamond and Pearl remakes in the next next 2 years or so, and I mean, either next year or the year after that, we're gonna get Diamond and Pearl remakes. Also, my camera is dying, so I'm just gonna reset it real quick. It's just gonna be frozen on my freaking camera here for a second. You're probably gonna be super confused, but what I was gonna say though is that like Looker coming back would actually be really, really cool. I would actually genuinely like enjoy that, and I mean, honestly, this to me sounds perfect. This is a perfect rumor in my opinion. Sure, no new armored forms, no Mega Evolution. I guess, I mean, well, there would be some stuff, like, I mean, exploring, I mean, armored evolution, sure, Meltan. So no, I mean, maybe new Mega Evolutions, I guess, new Megas, a very few of them. Sure, and new Galar forms would be fun. And 85 new Pokemon, 80 available, 4 unavailable, 1 DLC. I mean, it sounds pretty interesting. I've got to be frankly honest. I like this rumor kind of. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about the first rumor? What do you think about the second rumor? What are your opinions? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Ruffle Rowlet. I will catch you on the next one. Have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.